time shot. It's time shot. I'm in the place where my friends are, and I know together we'll go far. Yeah, time shot. It's time shot. And I'm still doing things the time shot way.
Hello, people. It's Poet, and I'm on Time Shot doing a face cam for the first time. I'm just wanting to test it out. I don't know how it's going to work. Why am I just always on fire with these guys? Seriously, Blaze are the most annoying things in the world. I wish that you could actually go so far as to at least fire their little fire charges back at them, you know? It should be the way. Anyway, I'm doing face cam today. I don't know why. It's not for any particular reason. I'm not streaming this, obviously. And, I don't know. It's just something I wanted to try. So, first things first. The content of... Someone's firing at me from somewhere. Okay, these guys... I've been trying something. I was in here the other day, and I got 2 wither skulls. Oh, my God, are you kidding me? I got 2 wither skulls, and it was kind of... By chance, the wither skeleton dropped the skull on the very first one that I killed using the bow with looting method. So since then I've been like, does this give you more than like if I were to just use my sword? I don't know the answer to that. I think it's the same, but it just felt good to kill a wither skeleton with 1 arrow, and I got a skull back in return. So I did see another skeleton. Didn't I see one just like right over here somewhere? They run and hide constantly, these guys. But I did get 2 wither skeleton skulls so far. I've got 4 more gas tiers and 48, actually a couple blocks and 48 nether or quartz. So that is something. I actually came down here to get quartz because a lot of my projects I do have, I think, you know, about, I'd say about a row, 1 whole row of quartz in my chest. But I think that I want more. I need more. I always need more. And I've been finding it in places that I really... I heard one. Been finding it in places that I really didn't expect. Hello. Nope. Little bits of coal, but no skulls. Getting there, though. I've been finding it in places that I didn't expect. Like, places that I've been 1,000 times before. Oh, boy. These blaze right now. I've been finding it in places that I've been 1,000 times before, and for some reason, I have missed it, I guess. Like, I'll be, like, right here. Okay, this guy. Okay, yep. He dropped what I wanted. There we go. I should do like a series, like big game hunter type. Me going out after ghasts. I feel like they are my prey at this point. I kill every ghast I see on sight when I'm in the nether. Just to get those tears. Just to get those sweet, sweet tears. And, I mean, what can I say? I just love hunting them. It's become like a sport of mine. Give me those tears. Your salty, salty, delicious tears. It's not weird at all. So basically, I wanted to tell you guys a few things. I know that it's getting old, the whole fiance thing. It's all that I talk about on Time Shot anymore. But it's what's going on in my life, you know. We are at the final hurdle. I've said this before. I said this last episode that we are at the final hurdle, me and Win. Financially, we are so strapped. It's not even funny again. It's just one of those things. It's like an endless circle. Like, we go up and we go down. We go up and we go down. We ask for your help. We go up. That help runs out. We go down. What happened recently? So I said in the last episode we were just kind of standing around with the parrots thing. And I wasn't really doing much. It was basically a podcast at that time. But what I said during that time is that we are going to be needing money to get the fees and stuff paid for, and there's so many different things to pay for now. That's basically been covered. My dad actually stepped up, and I don't know why he did, but without me even asking him, came to me and said, like, hey, if you've got fees or whatever to pay for, let me know. And now I think that's pretty open-ended. I don't know that he knew quite the extent of what it does entail, but it's up there. It's up there in price. Figuring out how much we need is like they make it so that people who want to get married really have to prove that they want to get married, I guess, because the initial process, so everything that you do, they've actually raised the fee to $525 or something like that, the initial fee. We were lucky enough to get in there, and it was only around $300. I think Win said even $250. But then you add in all the other little tiny items, like, you know, you need to get passport photos taken, and those cost at Walmart. They cost me $50. At this other random photo studio lab thing, they cost me $11. So, you know, but those we had to take a couple times. It all adds up. You know, $50 here, $10 here, plus travel, plus expenses and stuff. It ends up being $100 at the end of the day for a simple thing as photos. And then add that to your $250 fee, and it goes up and up and up and up. Enough said. The costs after the fact, like now we're at the point where we have really like almost no fees to pay for. I paid with my own money. Didn't ask for help on this one. Paid with my own money. The fee for the consulate interview. So this is the final step. So the way that the process works, I've explained it before, I'll say it again. You go through the whole application. Finally, you get to this point where they're like, okay, come fly to Montreal, do your interview, and then we'll say yay or nay at that interview. Yes, you're approved. No, you're not. And that's that. Regardless of what they say, that fee is $265 US. Came to about $360 Canadian with all the fees and stuff added. And it was $360. An extra $100 just for being Canadian. So it was kind of that way. You know, what can I do? It is what it is, as they say, and nothing I can do about it. So it was paid for. Paid for. My dad stepped up to the plate. He said that he would pay for the fees that we're working on now. So the medical fee to go, I have to fly out to Surrey, BC, which is on the other side of it's the West Coast. It's basically if you go to Seattle and you just drive straight up north, like straight as an arrow upwards, you get to Surrey, BC. So that's where that is. I have to fly out there, and it's going to cost me $250, roughly. $250. And the flight itself is going to cost me about $400. If I can move my appointment. I booked an appointment for the 4th of August. Plane tickets were $800. Just the plane tickets. So I moved it to the 16th, and I saw that they were only $400. Then I spoke with my dad, and he said, you know, I actually suggested it. Why don't we just drive down? Because he actually has friends who live in BC. Why don't we just drive down? It'll be 23-hour drive, basically nonstop, because we can swap out, you know. And I mean, it seems insane to me. 23 hours driving. It would cost about $500, but you get the experience of driving that far, and seeing the sights, seeing the mountains, driving through the mountains, literally through them. And I get to spend some time with my dad. It's not a bad thing either. And, you know, then I don't really have to worry about the date itself. I could still use the earlier date, and then have rather than it being $800, it would be $500. So you look at it that way, it's a little cheaper that way. So I don't know how we're gonna swing it. I'm gonna try to rebook my appointment for the 16th. If they don't allow that, then I might try for the 8th. And if they don't allow that, then I don't know what I'm gonna do. That's neither here nor there, though. I then have to also fly out to Montreal. That's another $400 at the very least, and that's if I get that booked like right away, and I would like to, in order to keep those costs down, you know. So what do I need for an ender thingy? Oh, yeah, glass. Okay. I was wondering if it was panes, because these look like panes, don't they? The end crystals? You would think you'd have to craft that with panes. Who made this recipe? I don't get it. There we go. 9 of them. 9 more. I can make more than that. I just need more glass. Oh, boy. I think it's almost time to go to the sand area. Yeah, I think that's what I'm going to do, actually. I know that sounds so exciting. Let's get some of the pearls. 1 stack is fine, then. Go to the sand area and get some sand. Actually, let's not do that right today. Let's start building a little bit with quartz. Try and make it look a little bit nicer. So, anyway, the flight cost total with both cities in mind, it's going to be about $800 at best. The fee that I still have yet to pay is $250. So we're up to $1,050. And then Wynn has to drive up 16 hours to come see me. She has to drive 16 hours to come and pick me up, basically, to drive me to the US. Plain and simple. That's about $1,000 also. So we need $2,500 or $2,050. And then, like, my other bills and stuff still aren't getting paid. So, like, my mortgage, I don't think I'll actually be able to pay my mortgage this month. Unless my dad steps up again, and I don't really expect him to do that kind of a thing. I don't know what to even... I don't know. Somehow I need $3,000, and I'm making, you know, let's say $1,000 a month. So it's tough right now. It's really tough. But once we get this done, and I've said this so many times before, but you know, it's true. And it's finally, after you guys have been hearing about this for, like, what is it now? 9 months? 10 months? Maybe longer? Because the whole hashtag Nintendo thing's been a thing for forever and ever. Once that's done, I mean, there's not a whole lot left to pay for in our lives. Like, we'll have everything. We'll have everything we need. What can I get rid of here? We'll have everything we need in life. We'll be together. Our bills will be one. And that's that, really, honestly. It can only get better from there, right? Paying for one thing instead of 2 is super beneficial. And I mean, like, everything is doubled. Our insurance payments are doubled. Our mortgages, rentals, whatever, are doubled. Even groceries, you know, I have to buy a jug of milk. She has to buy a jug of milk. You know, that's how it works when you're separate like that. And that will basically change when we're together. Those kinds of things will be finally combined. So, do I want to make it 2 tall or 3 tall? See, I made it... Oops, I didn't mean to dig all the way through. Let's do it 2 tall. Yeah. Looking better. I want to make these tiny little archway type things for each door, simply to give it that kind of a, not Roman style, but at least a style that we can kind of standardize from every house that we've got here. So that's sort of what I'm going to do here. Let's dig down. There we go. So that's what's happening right now. We're needing all this money. So we've actually made a new GoFundMe. This is not a campaign video for that. I mean, if you guys want to donate to that, that's absolutely fine. If you want to donate in some other way, also fine. We just wanted to put that out there for people to donate if they so choose. And honestly, we do need it. I don't know that we'll be able to make it without it. Because as I said, like even now, like my mortgage is going unpaid. I don't know what the penalty will be. I just don't have a clue right now what is going to happen in the future. I assume, like I keep assuming that my dad's going to come through and bail me out, but you know, he's not made of money either. And there's going to reach a point where he says like, no, I can't help you. Plain and simple. My mother is very strapped for cash. She's on a very fixed income. And, you know, I can't expect her to pay for anything either. So, I don't know. But we're so close that we can't just stop. And it's impossible, in fact, to stop right now. And, you know, a lot of people, I've actually received comments sort of on the rude side. In fact, it is on the rude side. I'll be honest. I'll be perfectly frank. From people saying like, you know, the reason that you are in a financial bind is because you suck kind of thing. It's not quite that way. It's like, you know, the reason that you're in a financial bind is because you aren't doing Minecraft dinosaurs every day like you should. Instead, you're doing these crappy Time Shot episodes, whining about money and making yourself a pity party. And, you know, it's not my intent, guys. In fact, this whole talk, despite me saying money, 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 it's a positive thing. Like, we are so close to making it. And, like, I swear, I'll swear on whatever holy figure you present to me. I'll swear on my mother. I'll swear on whatever. That once we are together, we will never, ever, 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 ever need a campaign like this again for you guys to help us out. I'm starting a job hopefully soon, knock on wood. Like, it's been months in the process, that too. But I just got the final paperwork today that I didn't know that I needed, but I did finally get. So that's happening very soon too. I'm going to have another job basically to help support me through all of this. Kind of wish it happened sooner, honestly. I could rant for days about that, but I probably breached some kind of a NDA of some kind. But in any case, it is taking its time, but it is happening. And once that's done, honestly, that alone will help things immensely. You know, it's just, it takes time. It's got to take time. Everything takes time. It's tough, but it takes time. What more can I say? The thing is that, yeah, like I said, it's not a negative thing. It's a positive thing. We are moving forward. We're so close now. I announced it on Twitter that the fee was finally paid. Much to everybody's, like, everybody was cheering us on and giving us, you know, amazing, we love you type of messages, and that's awesome. I loved it. I loved reading it. I loved every bit of those tweets that were sent to us. Even though in my mind I was thinking like, yeah, but we still got a ways to go, you know. But yeah, it is. We're getting that close now where we are actually looking at moving me. It says this all in the GoFundMe, actually, if you look there. And I will link it in the description, just for kicks and giggles. We are looking to move me there by September. Mid-September. And I will never have to leave Wynn again. Or my whole family. My new family. I will never have to leave them again come September. And ooh, I like what I did with this style with the stairs. I actually considered, that's why I made stairs up there. You noticed I made stairs. I was actually thinking about putting stairs on the top. Now looking at that, I have to look at something like this and be like, yeah. I don't know. I could easily do something similar, you know. Go like that and then go like that. Oop, no. Go like to the side. To the side. There we go. Get this bow out of my face. There's really no room for it. Fences? I want everything in this inventory, right? Maybe the cobble. See, if I go like that. Why does it look... Oh. Oh, that should be flipped. Okay. Oh, boy. How in the world? Just jumping up and down is not doing what I wanted to do. There we go. Like that? Yeah, that looks all right. That actually looks not bad. I like that design. Whoops. I like it so much I tear up the street. Okay, yeah, that looks all right. That looks okay. Mind you, that block should actually be flipped. Gotta pay attention to the little details, as I've always said now. When I became an amazing world-class builder as Team Fire UK. Oh no, that is wrong. That is actually wrong. Despite all my demands for details, that is actually not the block I wanted to place there. There we go. That is right. I had it right. It just gets hidden by that, I guess. In places like this, obviously, I won't be able to do that kind of a style. There, I won't be able to do that kind of style. Maybe I only want to do it for like the mining supply booth type of thing anyway. Let's put a torch in there. Ooh, JFC already had that kind of a design already. I didn't really plan that. Don't mind that, though. Needs a floor. This whole place needs to be done up. This horse race thing I gotta get rid of, I think. I don't need it there anymore. I could do the top thing here for what it's worth. You know. I could. How does it look? Like that? Like that? Like that? That one's the wrong way. That one's the wrong way. There we go. Yeah, that looks all right. Looks okay. And then this cobble obviously will change to the stone when we're done. That's just always my kind of template block. It should be actually dirt, but I use whatever's in my inventory at the time. So it is what that is too. Anyway, getting back to the thing. We're so close, and I'm so happy. Like, it's... You guys have no idea how much of a stressful thing this has been to deal with lately. And, you know, of course, I don't regret any of it at all. That's not, you know, I'm going to get rid of that. It's not, I don't regret any of it. You know, it's very, very hard work, but it's nothing that I regret. And what I want to point out is that, like, yeah, it has to affect you, you know, that kind of stressful thing. It affects everybody. Stress does. And I don't, like, I've lived a pretty good life. I'm not going to lie. I've not had it, you know, we didn't have it. We weren't rich or anything. We were actually probably poor, but you know, I was raised well, I think. Had a good upbringing, more or less. You know, nothing too hard in my life. It's been a fight, but it's been a good fight. And I think that when we look at something like this, the whole visa thing, you know, I started YouTube and my stress level, like my hair was actually graying. I don't know, like I'm not, this isn't dyed hair or anything like that. But my hair was actually graying, and my brother, this is kind of, you know, for the guys out there, especially the older guys listening, you'd be surprised at how much, and girls as well, like your body definitely is affected by stress. You know, everybody points out, look at the president, his hair turns gray. His hair turns gray because he's been working so hard at the White House. He's so gray. Yeah, it's probably part of it, for sure. The fact that the presidents quickly gray their hair within the 8 years of them being president, because of how stressful and busy it is. Maybe they enjoy it, but it's a burden. It's always a burden. It's always something on their mind. It's a stressful thing. And you'd be surprised at how much that affects you. And so my hair was starting to gray a little bit. My brother was actually working in the same company as I was. I was one of the managers. I hired him in to help in marketing and stuff like that. And when he was in the business, his hair was actually starting to thin out. Like it was thinning out, to the point where I think he was, you know, getting a little embarrassed by it, was wearing a lot of hats, and grew his hair out pretty long so that he could kind of, you know, enjoy what he had left. But it was still graying on him, and you know, he was not happy about it, or not graying on him. It was getting thin hair. So he quit the job, and it was within a few months, in fact, just after the Christmas period, I believe. I guess it was March maybe. So I don't remember actually when I quit that place, but I quit the place, and I realized that the gray that my hair had started to turn, I had just, you know, a few speckles here and there. They disappeared. Like they legit either turned back to brown or just fell out and they're gone forever. But it was this crazy realization. Like there was nothing else in my life that had changed to make my hair turn back, except that I was then doing YouTube full time. So, and YouTube full time, you know, as much work as it can be, and you do spend hours upon hours upon hours upon hours in front of your computer, worrying about videos. It's a stressful job. It is. It's fun, but it is stressful. Look at so many people have stopped doing YouTube videos altogether now, or are considering it, or have cut back, or have had to shift gears because, number one, they say it's not that healthy for them, and that they're working on their life, working on themselves. Number two is that, yeah, it is a stressful thing, and that they don't have the time to focus on it as much as they would like, with other things going on in their lives, such as work, school, romance, so on. So it's all things that it's a stressful job. It is. It's not, you know, a cakewalk or anything. Ooh. Oh, I see. Did not expect that to be hollow. And a sight. Get out of my inventory. I thought it was stone. Okay, so if that's the case, I mean, I kind of want to just make the ceiling. I want to make the ceiling just kind of out of that block. But should I? What did I do? I did in the library. I did it out of. See, down here in the library, I did the floor out of quartz, and I do like how this looks. I really do. But at the same time, on that note, it's a ton of quartz to kind of just use up. And, you know, the more and the more and the more I go out and get quartz and spend like an hour getting quartz, and that whole hour disappears like that, you know, it's just gone. And for what? For a floor? Meanwhile, I look at the donor hall here, which is still unfinished, but look at the donor hall, and it actually incorporates diorite into the floor, and really, really, really cuts back on the total amount I would need to use if it was all quartz. So, do I want to incorporate diorite into the housing floor? I think yes. How do I do that without it looking absolutely terrible? Don't know yet. I don't know. I guess start with the perimeter of the build, all diorite. And then, you know, I don't want it to look too gaudy. I've actually considered taking away the speckledness of the side of the mountain. I've actually considered taking it away. It's a little bit much. It looks good on a very small scale. But when you start doing the entire mountain, I realized pretty quickly that it doesn't look as good as I wanted it to look. So I might have to cut back on that. Let's put all this back here. Oop, not the bow. What bow is this? Take some diorite. And I want the polished diorite. So let's grab that. Yeah. Good. Anyway, back to the stress thing. Yeah, we stopped working there. We both stopped working there. It was a very, very, very stressful job. And our hair started, his hair, I was talking to him one day, and I said like, you know, I realized that when I stopped working there, my hair stopped graying. You know, it was an amazing thing, amazing realization. And he replied and said, yeah, you know what? When he stopped working there, his hair started to get thicker again. Now, I don't really know what other effects it had on me and my health, but that was a pretty noticeable one, and shockingly so. You know, like it's amazing how much that affects you, and you don't even realize it until you leave and you get out of that stressful situation, and then you feel so much better. You feel so relieved. Not having stress is like, people have stress and they don't even know it. I know that this is the case, or they know it but they don't really acknowledge it. And I think that's a pretty serious problem. Like, people need to start acknowledging the fact that, you know, yes, I am stressed, and yes, I need to deal with it. But I don't know how. I'm not going to get into the hows or how, you know, how to deal with stress. I don't know yet really how to manage my own. So how can I help you with yours? Unfortunately. But I honestly do believe that if you can find a way to get rid of that stress, then it can only help your life improve. And unfortunately, the reality of the situation is that not everybody can get rid of that stress. Either they have to work a stressful job or have a stressful life, and that's just kind of the life that they chose type of thing. I don't know. I don't know how to fix that. Like I said, I'm not going to get into that. But with me doing YouTube full time, my stress level dropped significantly. Significantly it did. And with this whole marriage thing, the forms that I've had to fill out, the amount of paperwork I've had to fill out, the money issues that we've now started to experience because we're apart, you know, I don't let things bother me. I don't show it in my face. I've said this, it was several episodes back actually, and I was talking about how it looks when I'm stressed out or bothered by something, and I don't let it show on my face, and it's just not, or like my brain won't react to it as like a defensive mechanism or something. Whatever it is, not a lot affects me, but I then still feel the effects later on. You know, when it comes to stress, for example, my hair hasn't started turning gray yet again, but you know, I do have that anxiety that people in stressful situations feel. I do feel, you know, not as healthy as I should. And I know that the reason is because of the stress. And unfortunately, the only solution is to, you know, let this whole thing play out, have it finish itself. And once we're married, once we're together, once we're able to afford things better, that stress, gone. And we'll be back in that situation where I was when I started YouTube, and stress-free living, basically. So I'm looking forward the most to that type of thing. You know, the fact that we can eliminate my stress is going to be paramount to everything working out. And I mean, I love doing this though. Like, it's not, like I said, YouTube is a stressful thing, but I love doing it. This whole marriage thing, it's a stressful thing, but of course, you know, the outcome, of course, is love, and I love doing everything associated with that. But it is a long and hard journey, and I don't know, you know, if we weren't getting married, it would be a lot to take. I know that. I know that it would be a lot to take. I don't know how I would cope with it. The stress alone, like money aside, let's put money aside. The stress alone gets to you after a point, and you start to break down because of it. And there's no way around that except to eliminate that stress. So, you know, we're thankfully dealing with it. Thankfully. So, okay, that whole floor is going to be quartz. Good, good, good. We're doing good. Okay, those two are done. The upstairs, I don't know what I'm going to do about the ceiling yet, so leaving that blank. Down here, done. Actually, I could get rid of those. Actually, get rid of that too. Yep. That'll be quartz in there. Quartz, quartz, quartz. There. See, we're using way less quartz. And a block is a lot of quartz. A block is like 10, 15 minutes of searching. Just a single block can be a lot. So, oh yeah, the floor in here. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's go like that. There. And that'll be quartz. Looking good. So anyway, yeah, I just wanted to kind of let you guys know that this is still stuff that we're dealing with. Maybe this video helps you on like realizing that stress is something that you have to be paying attention to. When you figure out that you have this stress, you're the one responsible for figuring out how to get rid of it, and that is the thing that I really can't help with. Because I wish I knew. I wish, honestly, I don't know how to fix my stress right now. The only thing that like I said, you have to let it play out. If you're in a stressful situation like, you know, your job, it's convenient for someone like me to say, well, then quit. But I know that's not affordable for everybody and not possible for everybody. Even less so if it's a self-employment or a family business or something like that. But I think that you have to try to find a happy moderation, like a happy medium, like a middle ground. You know, try to put as much off of your plate as you can to de-stress. If it involves vacationing, you know, to de-stress, that's great. Do it as much as you can for as long as you can. But you know, I don't know what else you could try, really. My point is, though, that it does affect people. It does affect me right now. And I try not to let it show in videos as much as I can. I certainly, obviously, because I don't do face cam all the time, you guys can't see always the exhaustion in my face. The pure exhaustion from, you know, I've just had some really bad news about, you know, how much it's going to cost to do a certain thing, or, you know, what paperwork now I need to get in addition to what I've already gotten and how difficult that's going to be. You don't see that in my face. And maybe that subconsciously is why I decided to do a face cam today. It's honestly not the reason. I don't know what reason it was. But, you know, maybe like I was saying, you guys don't see it often. I try not to show it. You know, I try to do my videos the same as I always have. Get excited as much as I always have. Put as much effort into it as I always have. And, you know, try not to let it be known that I'm getting worn down by the stress. So it's something, like I said, that we got to deal with soon. We're fighting hard every day to try to get this to end. To its culmination. Trying to get rid of the stress by finally getting married, and we are at that point. My appointment has been booked for my medical. My appointment has been booked for my consulate interview. It's just gathering up the money right now to do all of that is a real pain. Videos will be affected. I don't know how yet, but they will be affected. And I hope that through all of it, that I still have your support, you know, through all of it. I'm sure I will. And, you know, that's what I love so much about this community that we've built. Timeshot, especially, like, you know, this video is going on for 40 minutes, and I don't think it's a bad video. I don't think I'll edit it down. But Timeshot, you know, it is something that a lot of you guys came here from my dinosaur series. And you sort of, you know, my dinosaur series was always sort of more, I'm not saying childish, but it's more of a immature series. Not that that's a bad thing. I'd fully admit to being one of the most immature people in the world. But self-proclaimed, obviously. But I always felt like Timeshot was sort of a little bit more mature. It was sort of where I could express my views, my opinions, my rants, my whatever, and be myself. And it wasn't for everybody. It wasn't for 99% of the followers of the dinosaur series. But with a few that I did get to watch, you know, the core of Timeshot's fans and audience, you know, I appreciate you guys so much for just taking that extra step and looking at other videos and looking at other content and engaging in that content and being there for me. It means a lot. And, you know, without you guys, I would be nothing. I've said that so many times. It's true. You know, I didn't expect Timeshot to be as important in my life as it has become as an outlet. I've always known that it was an outlet, but I never really knew or understood just how important that outlet is. You know, until things like this happen where I need your support, and I know that I'll get it. You know, it's something of a bit of a humbling thing. And, you know, I've heard of stories of people who are in the Timeshot community becoming tight-knit, becoming friends. I don't know if the story was true or not. A story of someone who got married as a result of, you know, meeting in a Timeshot fan group. Humbling. So, you know, with that, I think that's where we're going to end it. I talked all over the place, but it wasn't a bad talk, you know. It's one of those things where I often would look at a video like this. The video right now, I look over, I can see on the little thing, the timer, it's 44 minutes long. 44 minutes is beyond anything that YouTube suggests that you make for a video. But I think I put a lot of me out there in this video, talking about what's happening, talking about you guys, talking about, you know, stress, that kind of thing. Admitting that I have stress is the first step to getting help. And you guys see me today. You know, you see me for what I am, for who I am. Crazy day, crazy video. But hope you guys enjoy it. Oh, we're still working on the episode 2 of the Shotcast podcast. If you haven't seen the first one, we do have a YouTube channel, youtube.com/timeshot. Simple, easy to remember. Gotta be there. I'm going to link that in the description as well. So the GoFundMe, number 1, Timeshot YouTube channel will be linked in there as well for all time. You guys can help support us if you want through the GoFundMe, or I've also got my, if you sub on Patreon or sub on Mixer, or even just a one-time donation to paypal.me/poetplays, or whatever way you can think of, sending me a happy, helpful message. They do help. So, yeah, thank you guys, and we'll see you next time on Timeshot, where, I hope that these buildings start to take a little bit more shape. I'm hoping. I don't know how they're looking right now, if this is good or bad. I can't say I'm that happy about the square shape of them. I really do like those shapes down there. This one right here, like I do like this look. Almost an Asian sort of theme, kind of nice. I like that. Those not so much. So what do I do to fix it? I don't know yet. Gonna work on that, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.